Hello YouTube, ZiggyNo back with Sports Cards Daily. Today is October 26th, and on this day in 1869, the first American steeplechase horse race at Westchester, New York. You think there were bookies at that event? Like, when did betting start? Probably had to start before, sports day. We're probably betting on, man, we're humans, right? We've been betting since we came out of caves. Anyway, hobby news and chatter. How to properly check comps, great article I will share with you. High grade T206 set up for auction, already I think at $3.5 million for the entire set. Panini Direct Football, and I want to point some attention to what I see as softness in the Panini football market. Thank you, Personal Finance Dad. This is kind of a little joke, but Personal Finance Dad did not post any videos yesterday. And I teased him a week or so ago when I claimed that my show was the longest running consecutive sports card show. I couldn't really challenge him, but I think he took a day off, so I could Anyway, thanks, Personal Finance Dad. I hope you're doing well. I do watch all your videos, and now I can claim the longest running sports card hobby show on YouTube. Today, look for baseball card collector, investor, dealer. Also ran into a new content provider, Brandon's Baseball Cards. He's going to have a cool interview on this evening, so check that out too. What did you miss yesterday? The best sports card investment from Sports Card Investor, Slab Stocks FC, weekly sports recap from Northeast Ohio Sports Cards, Panini Mega Cracks from a new soccer content provider I picked up, BenchClear Sunday Night Live. Really fun to join those guys, listen to those guys, catch up. I'll share that with you. And then a great video from Carlos on MBA authentication, which is what I mentioned a little bit yesterday. And Bobbles and Ball Cards spoke about last night or 2 nights ago in his video. This is the greater stickers. So we'll get into that too as well. So let's jump into the content. Okay, so on Sports Card Investor, check out great article. I just will say there's never enough education when it talks about how to properly check comps. Right? It really comes back to eBay. And I think this is a great video because he basically talks all about it, gives you some suggestions, some tips. He even talks about checking, for shill bidding or check the real value. So really, educational article. Definitely check it out if you haven't already. Then on Sports Collectors Daily, they got a great article yesterday on high-graded T206 set, over $3.5 million at auction. I thought that was pretty darn interesting. That's a complete set, right? 522 cards? Man, that's pretty cool. Next up, Panini. And I was looking at their football product, and a few things I noticed. I don't know if it's new or not, but they've got the mosaic up here, and it's not sold out. That's kind of shocking to me. And I'm also glad to see, remember this stuff was selling for $800. Oh, this wasn't, I'm sorry, this was not $800. The hobby was $800. But still, I think the prices have kind of come down a little bit more, and they're still available. A lot of times products go out of stock. Now, I'll also mention, I thought I did a video earlier where I think certified football was actually reduced in price on their site. So I do think Panini's overpriced their football, and I'm hoping the market continues to push back, and we can see them drop that down. Like, look at this Phoenix. They're basically waiting to see what the market value is going to be before they price it. I just want to point out to new collectors, Panini used to sell at suggested retail price. They used to. They stopped doing that when everybody joined. They hey, we're just going to milk this cow. So they used to sell at suggested retail price, which I was a big fan of Panini for that. And I used to commend them all the time for that. Now they sell it whatever they can get, Blowout and Steel City and Dave and Adam to set the price out. It's called price fixing, in my opinion. But again, different topic. Let's get into the fun content for the day. Okay, Sports Card Investor talks about his best investment. Let me just say 2 things. Prism 2012. In fact, just 2012 basketball. Right? I did a video on this back in July. Looking at sets from 2012 basketball. So that's impossible now because Sports Card Investor basically just told everybody to go out and buy sealed wax. And I'm going to go ahead and agree with him. It is a great investment. Now, I got some thoughts on this. Obviously, Jeff's a great guy. I'm a big fan. And this will influence people. I do think, and people are already doing this, right? There are people who are storing sealed wax. But what I think that does, it's actually kind of hurts the hobby a little bit because it does make it more expensive for breakers to get the product. And what do? They pass that cost on to their customers, and the customers pass that cost on to single. So it's the same thing, although I do like the idea it's like a mutual fund. So I don't know. I just have some interesting thoughts on it. My one question I asked him about was redemptions. What are your thoughts on redemptions? And does a product ever go down in value because of redemptions? Or does it go up? Like, for example, sealed NT basketball from this year with the Zion 1-of-1 logo man still out there. I would assume that product would actually be going up because there's less of that product and the chance of hitting that big card get bigger every day. But shh, don't tell anybody, okay? Anyway, we could talk about this topic forever, and I might do a video on this about sealed wax. Next up was Slabstocks FC. Big fan of Aaron and Slabstocks guys. Let me just say, first of all, if you're ever new to sports cards, check out Slabstocks, the 101 videos. In my opinion, they're they're not perfect in everything, but they're the best consistent content in the hobby, and they're free. So check those out. Also, FC was great. I liked hearing from the outside perspective of a gentleman here in Europe. Not much big. They talked about some of the past cards. Nothing that was super exciting to highlight, but do check it out if you're a fan. Weekly card update from Northeast Ohio. I did enjoy this. He goes over several things, talks about SGC, PSA, talks about the NBA, the Prism, another Prism, the Panini calendar for basketball. Just hits on a lot of different topics. Great weekly show. So if you haven't already subscribed, please do. I think a good friend of mine. Next up, I don't remember this gentleman's name. This is a new channel I just picked up, Rookie Year Soccer. I'm a big fan of small channels, guys. If you got a small channel out there and you need some exposure, reach out. ZiggyNo will help you. I will be happy to point you in some directions and help get your subscribers up, and be happy to highlight your solid content on the daily channel. So in this one, what I liked, he talked about mega cracks. So for me, what I like about these soccer videos, like London Sports Cards, is they educate me on the product. They're not just ripping it and telling me this is a big hit. He's explaining to me the history, some of the players in it, why people are chasing it, where I can get it. Again, kudos, man. Really like it. Keep doing what you're doing. Next up, Sunday Night Live. Really big fan of BenchClear Media. Like I said, I've been following Ty since Breaker Culture years ago. These guys put out some good content. It was good to catch up. Happy birthday to Mike. Mike turned 29 again. That's a shout out for Mike. Just funny show, good show. Enjoy the content. They ripped open a box. There's triple threads. Talked about the hobby, prices in the hobby, all the typical hobby topics. So check it out. I do enjoy it. And hopefully these guys are back, I think, in a week or so to do a live with Q&A. Next up was a great timing from Carlos, because I just talked about this MB authentication services the other day when I was at the CSA show. And again, I just don't get this grade the grader. So what I liked about Carlos's show, he gave a great example of the coin industry and how the coin industry has done this. Another thing he mentioned, he thought this might make more sense on some of the vintage cards. Like a vintage card makes sense if you have a bunch of sixes. What differentiates a PSA 6? Well, one of these grade the grader stickers could differentiate it. I actually will agree with that. What I will say is that's not what was being shown to the show. It's all modern cards, which I just don't understand why you're grading the grader there. So I really like Carlos's perspective. Give a good opinion. But I'm going to first of all just say it's not for me until it starts making a difference. Like, for example, it's $25 for those stickers. Until I'm getting $75 of value over that sticker, like 3x, I'm not putting that sticker on my card. Woo! Last, again, personal finance said, hope you're doing well. Just thinking about you because, again, it's the first day in forever you have not put a video up. I was looking back at my own. Sports Cards Daily has been going since July 11th, 12th. We did change the name. And I've been putting content up, I think, since way back in June on a daily basis. So I'm going to claim the title of longest running sports card show on YouTube, consecutively running. Okay, not just in history. And a lot of you guys have been out there forever. I've only been there a few months, but consecutive days, man. Show me someone who's been running consecutive days longer than ZiggyNo Sports Cards Daily. Thank you guys. Have a great day. Stay safe and stay healthy.